hand today because I'm holding onto the camera. I've decided to do something slightly different today. I've decided to have a chat and declutter a sideboard in my house, or a bureau, I think some people might call it. I'm trying loads of new things at the moment, just for the fun of it, really, and because decluttering is on my mind. So I'm going to show you the sideboard in question. I really like it. I bought it from, I believe it was Cult on the internet. I think they were called Cult, the site. I actually got it in a sale, which made it even better. And I came with a lot of things in this house. It is chock-a-block. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to be mithered by the animals, but I am a terrible, terrible hoarder. I hold my hand up. I've got lots of excuses, part of it to do with the fact that I was very, very poor when I was young, and when I was married it was even worse, first time round. But also I think I just tend to hang on to things. My mum is one of those people, please, but you smell so bad this morning. He's rolled in something. My mum is one of those people who, the minute she's finished with whatever the item is, out the door it goes. And as a kid it was very unsettling. I would come home from school, she would have decluttered my bedroom without telling me and got rid of anything and everything that she felt I'd grown out of or was surplus to requirements. And quite often they were things that I valued and hung on to. So it has left me with a little bit, but I'm talking tiny compared to other people. You know, my house is not that bad, but there are things that I get touchy about. And I'm trying to get out of the habit. I'm gonna have to get rid of these dogs. They stink and they're mithering me. That didn't work, they wouldn't let me catch them. They're hiding under sideboards, but if they do that for a little bit, or under bits of furniture, if they'll do that for a little bit, it would be good, because they're a flipping pain. So anyway, I am trying to turn over a new leaf and be more streamlined. And at the moment, my streamlining has been putting things into drawers and into cupboards. But, you know, they're pretty full. The other issue, of course, is that I came from a much, much bigger house to this one. I prefer this one. But I brought, you know, I had room to spread out, and now it's come back in, which I think a lot of us do. As we get older, we downsize. We didn't purposely downsize, we just needed more land. That's why we moved. So, here we go. And I'm a bit ashamed of this. I'm a bit worried and a bit ashamed, but we're gonna go for it because you're friends and you're gonna G me on. So we have this cupboard, has these nice rounded doors full of stuff. Then it has 3 drawers, can you see? Absolutely full of stuff. And of course there's another one of these swing out cupboards this side, and I just don't know what is in a lot of them. How do you start? Did you pull everything out? I'm anxious to pull everything out. I might do it drawer by drawer and then make piles. Let's go for it. So the bottom shelf, I have notebooks. There's going to be a common theme in this, I think. Tons and tons of notebooks. They're one of the things that I find so hard to get rid of. Oh, I've got an old Apple iPhone box and more notebooks. Look, diary 2018. I mean, why am I keeping it? I know why I'm keeping it, because it was pretty. Look at that. But I think it might be time to just let it go. Yes, okay. So I've got a bin. I'm gonna have to empty this periodically, but first things first, in the bin. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one, I really don't. Right, I've got another notebook here that I really like, and it's got courage written on the front. And I used this when I was struggling with my nerves, and in fact, in the front of it, I have a whole list of everything that I am. So I'm going to keep that one, I think. So I'll just put that there for now. Oh, this is my little gold days to remember. It's got all birthdays and so on in it. So that actually has a purpose. Another notebook. This one has some recipes in it, but is mostly nothing. Maybe pile. Then I have this one, which is quite pretty, but again, I've barely used it. And I have a lovely, again, I think this was when I was ill. Yes, this was when I was ill, when I was most ill, which is going back a few years. It has all sorts of numbers that are important to me. So I'm going to keep This one, this, and these two for sure. Others are going on a maybe pile, and we'll see how big the maybe pile is when I've done all the cupboards and drawers. But they can sit back on there for a minute because I know I'm going to keep them. Up above is, I believe, oh, I was going to say photo albums and they're not. Here's another notebook. Barely started. This is, oh, and another notebook. This is a photo album. Shall I give you a sneak peek? Let's see if I can find one that I would like you to see. No. There aren't any. But that's obviously staying. Yeah, this one is again a photo album from, we went to the Maldives. He surprised me and took me to the Maldives. And we filled various albums. There might be a picture in here that I think is appropriate. Let me have a look. Not that they were terribly rude, but they were just not quite, let's see. Oh, here we go. You can see this one. Oh, dropped one. That's me lying in the water in the Maldives reading a book. Because that's the sort of person I am. And that's a rather fine one I did of a turtle. So, yeah, obviously that is going to stay. So they can go back there. They're all right there. Whoops. It might fit. It must fit. I got it out. Oh, it doesn't fit very well, does it? Maybe needs rejigging. So that was one. And so far I've got rid of one diary that was 2018. You can hear the dogs, can't you? Right, let's have a look at this side. Parcel tape. I was looking for that the other day. Omega-3 fish oil capsules. This is from when I was poorly and my husband was reading articles all the time about could there be a vitamin or a chemical or something missing in my diet that was making me so unwell, and he kept buying things like this. So let's have a look what the date is on this. Best before end of January 2020. I think they're going. I think I took about half of them. Another notebook. I love one with the thing on it. This is Hello New Me. You're supposed to write down what you've eaten, what you've drunk, and I think I did it for about 3-4 days. Again, this is so long ago. Would I restart that now? No, I wouldn't. It's going in the bin. There's 3 things in the bin. Oh, down the bottom here we have lots and lots of old medication that I need to drop off somewhere at some point. But that is actually empty now. I mean, the medication is there, but it needs to be taken to a centre or something, and I forgot it was there, so I'll have to do it. But I'm quite pleased. 3 things. Then we're going to look at this drawer. Do you see it all? This is going to be a challenge because a lot of this I don't even know what it is. So we have a book called The Wisdom of Nature, which I really didn't like. It was given to me, but it's full of bugs and things. So I'm going to donate that to charity. I'm going to put it in a charity box, so it can go up here because I know I'm not keeping it. Oh, but I did like the quote that came with it. I don't know if it's focusing on that, but it says, by being yourself, you put something wonderful in the world that was not there before. So that's staying. These are packing envelopes. An old iPad cover with a keyboard built in. I ought to hang on to that, I suppose. Puzzle books. Everyone needs a good puzzle book. Another one of his vitamin choices was magnesium citrate. Best before end of March 2020. Yeah, I took about half the bottle. It is a shame though to waste it because these things aren't cheap. Can't say I noticed that it helped with what was wrong with me, but oh, and there's more. These haven't even been opened. If they're unopened, surely they'll be fine. I can't even find a best before end on these. There must be one. I just don't know. And as I say, that's still in its plastic. So is that one. He read something somewhere that magnesium citrate was really important, and he bought the first lot and then read that this type was even better and came home with those. So, you know, let's leave it there, shall we? Mad husband. Oh, a little sewing kit purse. The odd random photograph. This is my eldest daughter meeting Santa. Obviously I'm keeping those. This really is a random drawer, this one. Oh, this is this awful fan that you put around your neck, ladies. This is the answer to everything. You put it around your neck when you're having a hot flush, according to my husband anyway. Where's the button? I've forgotten now. I haven't used it for so long. Let me just... Where was the button gone? Button, where are you, button? Oh, there it is. So you put this around your neck and you walk around like that all day. And it's supposed to keep you cool. It doesn't. Please don't. If anyone else sees the advert, don't be like my husband. It doesn't work. It just drives you mad because it makes that noise in your ears. There's actually a lot more photographs in this drawer than I realised. That's a picture of me. It's a very bad one. You remember in the old days when the light would get in sometimes? That is me with my first baby. It was about 4 days after she was born, and I was on the phone to my hubby who was in Germany telling him all about her because he hadn't seen her. And look, ladies, look at that back. No bumps. Another notebook, not even opened. A photograph of me. That's my younger daughter and our puppy. What was the hair like? What was I doing at the time? A book that my husband bought me as a wedding present. Cheeky devil. Don'ts for Wives from 1913. It's got to stay because it's just a silly present that he got me. He thought it was funny and I thought it was funny, to be fair. As if my husband would ever be brave enough to tell me what I should and shouldn't do. Oh! A Thomas Kincaid calendar. One year I got given 2. This one never came out of the box. 2019 this one is. Oh, this is hard. It's going. Oh! This is footage of my younger daughter on Vertigo with a friend of mine, screaming her head off, and so is, yeah, it's a kind of a precious one I would want to keep. Do you remember when we all had iPods full of music? I was hopeless at this thing, hopeless. And people would say to me, you can have millions and millions of songs, and I would like download them. I could never work it properly. I was doomed, but it does have a lot of my music on it, so I am keeping it. My music, it makes it sound like I sing. Right, what have we got here? Pentel permanent marker, shouldn't be in there. Oh, and some of these, I've got 1, 2, 3. I told a fib. I have 4 of these candle lighters because I can never refill them. They always say it's easy to refill, and oh, that was working. I've never managed it, but I'm determined that I will one day, and I am not throwing them out. Also have this sort, which has no flame. You'd think I had candles going all in and oh, and another one. This is actually quite a pretty one, but another one I can't use. Oh, I've clearly got a bit of a thing going on for those, haven't I, ladies? Then I've got my old iPhone. which I've hung on to. I don't know about you, but I tend to hang on to things like this, and not that I think that they're worth anything or they'll come back into use, but I worry about you know, the information that's on them, and what if one day I realised something was on it and needed it. A click, where is it? Yeah, a click trainer for the dogs. Doesn't work. My dogs just act like I haven't clicked anything. Old earphones that are in a really shocking state, they can go. Ladies, another one. So that is in total, just from this drawer. Just check there aren't any more in there. No, I don't think so. I think it's fair to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candle lighters. Hello Kitty key ring, which I'm keeping. I might actually put into a giveaway at some point, but this one is actually from Japan. I went to Japan and visited my daughter, and I brought back lots of little things, and Hello Kitty is really big in Japan, so that's staying. Magnifying glass. I was looking everywhere for one, wasn't I? And here I have one. So now, unfortunately, I have 3. Another phone. This is a little Samsung. Don't think it was mine. I think it was my daughter's. Some luggage tags. I don't use them as luggage tags. I put them on baskets when I'm putting, like my husband's got one in his wardrobe, or a couple in his wardrobe. One says socks, one says, you know, so I just use these. Old Fire Stick remote control. An old number 7 lippy. Look at that. It's probably a nice colour. Well, it probably was a nice colour. I probably wore it, but, oh yes, it's got that horrible feel, if you know what I mean. So that's going to go. Some flash drives and SD cards, and I don't know what's on them, and a roll of film, can you believe? And then there is, of course, the ubiquitous cable set that I have no idea what it goes to, what it does. Hang on. No, I'm still none the wiser. I don't know about you, but I can't get rid of things like this. But I do have a designated old rucksack in the dairy that I put all cables in. And then if anybody ever says, have we got or have you seen? I can say, go there, because, you know, I can tell you no more than that.
So this would be out of the door. I'm sniffing ladies with dust. How do drawers get so dusty? Do you find things like this and just think, what's that for? I have no idea. So stay in the bin.
So, one drawer empty. So before I refill it, I'm going to do this drawer here, and I might, you know, be able to make some sense out of it. Now this one is a real problem. This is all notebooks, documents, things like that. So let's just see. This is where my keeping of things really got out of control. For example, I have had this organizer for years, absolute years, and I used it a lot when I was renovating this house. So I have a suspicion, yes, you see there's names of kitchen people, and I sort of feel like I need to keep that as a, for the information that it contains, because this one actually did get filled with information that, yeah, it's possible I might need to go back to. Oh, look. A 2017 diary. Did I ever write in it? I remember this one. This was a beautiful diary. And I wrote in maybe the first 20 pages. So, do I throw it away because it says 2017 on the front? Or do I just restart further in? Really not sure. This was a photo album that I bought and I have never filled because my wedding photographs were given to me on a disc. And I was going to print some out and put them in the album, but I have never bothered to do it. And I really think I should. So that might be on I should maybe add that to a to-do list, because I do want an album to be able to look at them rather than just looking at them on the computer. I, like a lot of people, bought the 6-minute diary. Again, I could restart that at any point because it's not dated. So I sort of feel like, yeah, it's one to evaluate. I'm going to have such a pile of stationery in a minute. Books. Another notebook. Started, not finished. What's that? Oh, that's a spare remote control. This one will always stay with me. This little notebook went with me to Japan. And at the time, my travel phobia was, look, it's full of things. My travel phobia was really, really bad. I found it tremendously difficult to do. And I have moments where I really felt like I wasn't coping. But these are some photos that we took in a booth in Japan of the 3 of us together. I'm so glad I did it. It's one of the things that I think I'm most proud of in my life, that I managed to go and do it. But it was terribly, terribly hard. And this has a lot about that. So it's too precious. The information contained is too precious to get rid of. Maybe I should look at buying a box or a trunk or something and putting things like this away, because I don't really need it floating around the house, but it's too precious to let go of. And I think there's a lot of information in there that my kids would value in years to come. Oh dear, ladies, I'm ashamed. A big journal here. Oh, this is where I was doing gardening plans. And what's funny is, I think, let's have a little look. Yes, some of the gardening plans in here relate to the old house. Oh, these are from the wedding. This is my father with my 2 dogs. This is my dad, my beautiful, beautiful dad, with my 2 dogs. This is Mimi. Mimi was not quite a year old. She was my bridesmaid. And this was my Louis, who was the best dog a person ever had. And I, sorry, I lost him when my daughter, who was heavily pregnant, Jamie, ran over him. And then Bert came along. Who else? Yes, there's a close-up. These were my precious pets, my Louis and my Mimi. And they, of course, attended my wedding. They were my bridesmaids. Oh, I need to frame some of those. Clearly, they shouldn't just be hiding in here. I have a real stationery addiction, it is clear to see. That one has never even been used. Another little photo album. I was advised by the insurance company a while ago to take photographs of some of my jewellery. I had a ring go missing. And it was really difficult to, I mean, the receipt was old, and to provide the information. They said, you know, if I could provide them with pictures. So anything of value, I don't have a lot, but there are a few things around the house. Take an actual physical picture, keep it in an album, just for insurance purposes. So that's what I bought that for, and I still haven't done it. That's 2 major tasks that I've not even done. Can you see? Another notebook. This one's a Thomas Kincaid. This one's not going anywhere. Has been written in quite a lot, with lots of how to push yourself and what needs doing, and I should just build on this one really. This is a special memory. This is a birthday card that I got called My Grandma by Milo and Levi. It was done just before Lara was born. They were 3 and 2 at the time. So we had, my daughter had to ask them all these questions and they would supply the answer and then she'd write it down. So when being asked how old was Grandma, 1 was the answer. How tall is Grandma? As tall as a dinosaur. Grandma always says, she always says hi. Grandma's favourite food is apples. Not true. My favourite thing to do with Grandma is eat apples with her and do gardening with her, which is quite nice. Grandma's favourite place is the greenhouse. What is Grandma's job? Well, apparently I have pieces to do. If Grandma were a cartoon character, she would be a dinosaur. How do you know Grandma loves you? She brings me toys and a kiss. I love the toys come before the kiss. What is Grandma good at? Gardening and dinosaurs. What is Grandma not good at? The delivery man. The best thing about Grandma is she makes me all happy in her house. And my message for Grandma is I like to ride on my little digger, ABCD. And there are their sort of signatures inside. How precious are things like that? So back to finishing up, we're nearly there. Another notebook, well used, well worn, filled with all sorts. This one has been properly, I don't know if you can see, properly used. So they'll be kept. Another little notebook. You see, the trouble is when people know you like notebooks, you get bought a lot of notebooks. Information about my Alga cooker, which shouldn't be in here. An old camera. And an old broken iPad. So that's that drawer done too. So now it's putting things back and putting things back in a way that makes sense and whether I should keep them or shouldn't keep them. So I'm thinking the bottom drawer obviously has to be notebooks. So I'm going to speed up and get some back in here now. I'm putting all of my candle lighters until I've figured out how to use them properly into a little storage box that I got, and I will just pop that in there, and I think that's reasonable for the bottom drawer. The middle drawers will be far more problematic because it's far more of a sort of chaotic blend of things that are going in, but with hope in my heart I might manage to do it. So I have one of these sort of trays into which I think I'll put all the electrical things, you know, the remote controls, the old phones. I think, was that it, the old phones? Yeah, I think so. And then what can I put in front of it? I've got some of these little boxes. Yeah, I could put two of those in for, although what I'll put in them I don't know. Oh, here we go. What do I need to put in? Just little random bits. I'll leave that one empty. I don't know why it came with such tiny ones. Has anybody got any idea what on earth they use those for? My stylish pouch, which has two old iPads in that are broken, very broken. My word searches. Got a packet of these from the range. What did they cost me? £9.99, and they're in drawers. It was the smaller ones that I was after. Oh yes, and they are the right size. I was worried that they'd be the wrong size. I'm going to take that back out. It's not really working for me because there is more of that stuff, so I'm just going to pop it all in because there is some more up here, isn't there? Whoop. Yep. So that can go there. Will that fit? Yes. And this one I'm hoping will take just all the photographs and bits and pieces that I want to keep. Like baby scan photos. I am happy happy with this. This is coming along really well. I think every drawer should have one. A box with randoms. It's got, you know, like the pen in it. It's got a spare, one of those plugs, you know, just bits, drawing pins. So I think every house, every drawer, not every drawer, every house should have a space for things like that. Put the camera there. This is a really, really old address book of mine that goes back to when I was married to my first husband. Can you see? It's been written all over. It's seen better days, but it has names and addresses that bring up memories. So again, it's quite important to keep, I feel. So there we go, all finished. I'll show you the cupboards. This drawer, which I think looks so much better. It's amazing. And this drawer. And this cupboard. So I'm really pleased with that, and I've chanted away about what and why and what I'm going to do with it, and I just don't know whether this is going to be any good at all, and I will have to edit it like mad because it's probably so long. But I just thought I'd do it for the fun and see if people liked it and see if people could you know, felt the way that I did about something. And for me, clearly notebooks are an issue. Anyway, I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.